Good afternoon, everybody. Game time, Brian. Otherwise known as the mailman. Game time. Game time's in the house. Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry, I was sneezing. How is everybody doing? This is my COVID live stream. I hope I sound okay. What's up, Mr. Cowboy? Well, I'm going to sneeze, so what I'll end up doing is muting and then doing my thing. Just got to remember to unmute. I got sound now. Right, Mikey? Yeah, no, it was me. I was an idiot. So what's going on? I got Isaac Ramirez in here. What's up, Isaac? We got Crystals in the house. Michael Dan, at game time. I was still watching your morning video. Yeah, let me know what you think. I just did it straight up. I think a lot of these players get elevated, and that was my first attempt. I did make a copy of it, so I could, to take the credit when I hit 90%. No, I'm just joking. Michael Dan, Tyler Guyton makes sense. It's not that I want him, Mike, but I see the writing on the wall. So I'm Captain Trade Down, as Jeff Kavanaugh likes to say. Yeah, we always have to expect surprises. What's up, Coyote? How are you, man? Primetime Phil, what's going on, buddy? Mike Goldana. Tyler Guyton gets a bad grade, but he needs to be coached up. Could trade back and get him with some more picks. Prime, who I want. You know who I want, but we're not in a position to go get him. And I don't even know that I trust my team to take him if he falls on our lap. That's where I'm at with our team right now. Very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. And Mark Holmes' live stream, I did see a little bit of it last night where he was talking about the Eagles. And, shout out to your team, Hamid. They're getting under the cap. They will be aggressive. It's just, I hate to say it, but I'd rather be run by the Eagles front office than who we currently have running the Cowboys. So that's just how I feel. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Cowboy fan through and through, but I don't have faith that Stephen Jones knows what he's doing enough to get better. We just can't have 12-win seasons. Yeah, that's all well and good. But let me see my stream health. Okay, it's good. It's all well and good, but if you can't add pieces and you can't get better from year to year, and I got news for you, with all this extra money, everybody's going to get better. So we wasted an opportunity is what we did. Thanks, Hamid. I'm getting there, buddy. What's up, Chris May? Thank you, my man. I'm here. It is what it is. I'm sucking it up. I got to be home. I hate being home unless I'm either on vacation or if it's real night. Now, it is in the 60s out, so it's nice outside, but of course I feel like crap. So, once I get the pool open, I'm getting a new liner installed in April. So once I get that open, I'm an outdoorsy guy, and I'll be more fun. I don't mind being off, but right now, I might as well do as much of the YouTube stuff and get my act together as I can. I did do a mock draft. I enjoy doing the mocks, actually. Gives me an idea. Now, like I said, don't get caught up in their rankings necessarily, but I'm thinking Dallas Turner is going to be sliding. That and Wiggins, I think, or Higgins. Wiggins, I don't know, the cornerback. What's up, Thomas Garrett? How are you, buddy? Yes, I am, Mr. Cowboy. I think this makes number 3 since the beginning of COVID. My wife says it's the 3rd time. I don't remember having it a 2nd time, but I do remember getting it the 1st time. And that was the worst I felt, but it was never that bad. This one here, it started out feeling like allergies, and now it's just the body aches off and on. I just take Tylenol. I got some cough medicine over there just to keep my cough at bay. That's about it. Chris May, what's up? Jamie Garcia, good afternoon, game time. If you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing all right, man. I ain't going to let COVID get me. A Coyote, I've been sick the last week too, Brian. I've never get sick, but this one got me. Yeah, I normally don't get sick, and I had gotten a flu shot about a month and a half ago, so I knew it wasn't the flu. So I'm like, it's either allergies or this. And I think this is it kind of morphed, like the new COVID is kind of morphed into, I'm not going to say yearly, but it's just a sickness. It's like the flu. So Michael Dan, it's just going off game time. Brian's Mac. Yeah. Mike, like I said, it's not that I'm real excited about how we picked, but that's how I see it happening. And if Guyton goes early, then you never know. We might be getting a defensive guy, but I don't see how we can. We need help in that offensive line. Mr. Cowboy, Barkley or Henry? If you're giving me a choice between one of the two, give me Henry. Henry for a year. Or give me Henry for a year, and let's draft a young one. Good core amount of O-linemen that could be there at the end of the round. They don't go, yeah. There's going to be a lot that go, but there'll be some on the board still, Phil. So we can't get cute with this. We can't get cute with it. We need to be, go out unless if you saw my mock, if Keon is there, Coleman out of Florida State, I expect him to go right before us. I expect 4 wide receivers to be off the board by the time we pick. I really do think Keon will go before us. And I think that's fine because I don't need it. I only think 3 quarterbacks go off the board. I don't believe J.J. McCarthy goes to Minnesota. That's hogwash. Not happening. $60 million could it be available? Yeah, Hamid, you guys will do something. You'll probably get Patrick Queen. You need a linebacker big time. So it is what it is. That's not a surprise, Hamid. Your GM will do what it takes to bring in some talent. Now, that doesn't mean that doesn't mean it's going to vaunt you to the top of the division, but, you can't use free agency to overhaul your whole team. That's the problem I see, Hamid. You can't use free agency just to remake your team. It has to be a tool. The good thing about the Eagles is they have a lot of draft picks. So in my opinion, you guys are set up well. So we'll see. Mr. Cowboy, the Eagles front office is 100% better than the Cowboys. Yeah, and I hate saying that, Mr. Cowboy. Trust me when I tell you, man. That doesn't make me feel any good. But the proof is in the results. Not about regular season wins, Jerry and Steven. It's nice and all. Winning divisions are nice. It's about what you do in the playoffs. And as you get in the playoffs, it's usually the better, you play the better teams, okay? And you have to be able to perform, and it's normally on the lines is where you win or lose. Michael Data. What's up, Regina Green? How are you? Lady Libra, how are you? Jamie Garcia. Let's get to Jamie. Where did Jamie go? There he is. Our Cowboys always give us a reason to raise our eyebrows. Mike McCarthy and Zimmer not going to the combine does not help. Yeah, I find that weird, but Will McClay is going to give the evaluation. I don't think it's that big a deal in this day and age of tape. Listen, think of it this way, Jamie. Think of it this way. Do you want your coach getting caught up with a 40 time? Mike Zimmer don't need that. Mike Zimmer don't need to see these guys run around in shorts. If he wants to, he could turn on the tape. He could turn on the tape and look at actual games played against competition and see what these guys are doing. That's what we need to get away from. The combine, you know what the combine's for? The most important thing that the combine is for is what you don't see on TV. And that's the physicals, all the medicals. They really they go over these prospects with a fine-tooth comb, and they really work them over. It's very strenuous on these guys, and it should be. It's really not about how they throw. It's nice to see them run, and it's nice to see them run next to other prospects. But at the end of the day, and Hamid, tell me if I'm wrong, what was the name of a guy that you guys drafted out of Boston College years ago? killed the combine. He was the combine champ, and he was an NFL bust. Help me out with the name. I believe he was an edge rusher. Yeah, I can't think of the name right now, but yeah, anybody that elevates himself that much in a combine situation, I question a little bit. I could see a Senior Bowl or a bowl game, like a smaller school guy who comes out of nowhere and actually shows well against good talent. Then I could understand that, but I'm not overly worried about that, Jamie. Dave Thompson, what's up, buddy? Philly losers in 6 of their last 7 games only beat the Giants. Hope their GM keeps up the good work. Well, I just mean, Dave, the offseason and at least getting the talent. Dallas doesn't seem to ever want to do that, Dave. I mean, Philly's, getting their cap in order now and actually doing things. And they're actually creating room. They're almost, I think they're 23, upwards of 30 million under the cap already. And like I said, they're not done. They're going to make a few moves. So I would just appreciate our GM doing the same thing. Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting to do anything? They haven't even talked to Dak Prescott as of yesterday, or nothing substantial. No, I get it. They're going to do it at the combine. The agents meet with the owner. Okay, so what? I mean, this is what cracks you up. This is what cracks me up with our team. It really is. Let me turn on the light here. It really is not. It's not rocket science here. Just pay him. Stretch the money out. Pay CeeDee Lamb. He's going to set the market. That's fine. Justin Jefferson. What are we waiting for? Justin Jefferson to sign his deal, and then we're going to come in. Just Dallas. Dallas is frustrating, people, and I'm not trying to be negative. What do you guys think about Brandon Jacobs? Brandon Jacobs. You mean Josh Jacobs? You mean Josh Jacobs, right? I like Josh Jacobs. I told Primetime he's not as big on him as I am. I like Josh Jacobs. He's been banged up, but I think we can get him on the cheap. I think out of all the guys, it's funny. Primetime doesn't really like Josh Jacobs. I really like Josh Jacobs, because of the fact he's been banged up on the same level, minus the major injury as Saquon Barkley. But I think he runs harder than Barkley. He's just not as overly explosive. I'm in on Josh Jacobs. Let's see here. Devil Dog, what's up, my man? How are you, brother? You okay? USMC, how are you, man? We're not getting Patrick Queen. We're too cheap. Plus, I doubt we extend Dak. Well, that sucks, USMC, but I agree with the Patrick Queen. I think he's going to either re-sign with the Ravens or he's going to be with the Eagles. And I kind of hope he goes with the Eagles, because I hope the Eagles don't take our guy that I want as Shahir out of Tennessee. He's a good tackler. He's a linebacker. I would like to have him. So that's who I would like. Dave Thompson, Cowgirls won all year at home, choke it away in the playoffs. Who is worse? You are, Hamid. Right now, you're way worse. Right now, Hamid, your team is way worse than our team. Right now. I'm not saying after the draft and after free agency, but as of right now, you're behind us definitely. Your defense can't stop nothing. So, I mean, let's just keep it real, Hamid. As much as I'm being nice to you, your team, your defense is bad. Okay? You have some talent on it, but it's bad. And it's nothing that draft is going to be able to do. You're going to need to overhaul it. That's just a fact, man. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be overly mean to you, Hamid, but your defense was horrendous. And Jalen Hurts has got a lot of pressure on him, because from what I hear, one more year like this past year, and they're moving on from him. So you got a lot to worry about, Hamid. I mean, I give your front office credit because I like what they do, but they have a lot to do to pass the Cowboys. Jeff Lee, what up? What up? How are you, brother? Let me go up and see that again. There you are, Jeff. How are you? I'm not feeling the best. See, Brad Harris is in the house. Cheers, Brad. How are you, my man? There he is, Philly D, with the answer that I was waiting for. Mike Mamula. Mike Mamula. Remember? Hey, Philly D, remember, man? He was like the combine warrior. That's it. Combine, I don't have a problem that our coaches aren't going to be there. Jamie, I think that's overrated. Will McClay's there. Of course, ownership will be there to kiss the ass of the players. And Stephen Jones hopefully will talk to Dak's agent. Maybe, maybe not. Hamid, the sun will burn out before the Eagles get 5. Dave, I like it. Oh, shit. Regina Green, sister from another mother. How old are you, Dave? I bet you don't answer. Hamid, coming here throwing fastballs. Let's see here. What do we got? Khabib is a bum. Dallas owns Philly. Yeah, that's just a fact. Chris May, seems like anything to get by with us. Yep. They always go about doing things ass backwards. Devil Dog, that's all I'm saying. Why can't we be proactive, man? Why can't we be proactive? Yeah, it would be nice once to be on the, having all of our ducks in a row going into free agency, knowing, say, all right, good. Let's go out and get a linebacker. Let's go out and get a D tackle. Oh, Josh Jacobs wants to come to Dallas and play with us, or Derrick Henry. Let's go out and make moves and be aggressive. Nobody's saying these moves are going to get us to the Super Bowl, but it'll alleviate our needs going into the draft. And we can sit back, and if a Keon Coleman drops to us at 24, we don't have to trade back. We sit and take the wide receiver out of Florida State because, wait, hold up. Is it Coleman? Let me see. Is it Coleman? Hold up here. Hold up. Let me see. Yeah, Keon Coleman. I was right. Yay, I was right. Yeah, if Keon Coleman falls to us, then you take him. That's why it's so important to get under the cap substantially, go out and get a D tackle, go out and get a linebacker. We'll see what's going on with Harrison Smith. He's 35 years old. The Vikings are talking about releasing him. If they release him, I would pick him up on a 1-2 year deal, just to help with the Zimmer defense. He's not what he was, but he's better than what we got. And go out and get a running back. That way you go into the draft not having. If you don't get a running back in the draft and other talent slips to us, then you can bring back a Rico Dowdle to go with a Derrick Henry or a Josh Jacobs. You have Deuce Vaughn and Hunter Lepke. I mean, this is why I'm annoyed that we're not jumping on what we need to jump on. But anyway, yes, Devil Dog, they are ass backwards. Michael, down a question in the direction this Cowboys team is heading. Yeah, why? My thing is this, Mike. Why bring back Dak if you can't multitask and get multiple things done and have a vision? I mean, when I do something, I put pen to paper. Okay, I put pen to paper and I go down. Boom, boom. This is what I want to happen before we start the season. You look at your team. You look at the holes in your team, and you go fill some holes. You don't wait until everybody else picks through the chicken, and then you're trying to find a good piece of breast meat at the end when all you're looking at is like, 2 wings and the carcass left on the bird. You know what I mean? You want to get in there early and get your slab of breast meat early. You know what I'm saying? So I don't get it. Come on, Khabib. Don't start your shit. Hamid, I've seen all the 5 of the boys' Super Bowls. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Hamid worries more about a Dallas than he does his Eagles. Come on, bro. You take your 1 Super Bowl and go shine it up. I like Josh Jacobs. He's a little heavy, though. I'm not saying I have to have him, Mr. Cowboy. I'm just saying, if we can get some of these needs taken care of. I don't see us getting a running back, but you never know. Let's see here. I've stopped giving out mods for a time. There's a lot of people in here that deserve to be mods, but I'm just taking a break because I was a little mod heavy early on. It could be. Like, we're letting you talk as long as you have something more to bring to the table, and then Dak sucks. You gotta, you know. But I do agree with you. Khabib is a bum. Let's see here. Great one out back. Great one cut back though and can catch. Yeah. Let's see. She did. Let's see. Dallas defense looked bad against the Packers. Yeah, it did. It did. Didn't look bad against you though. So that's really all. As long as you can win your division, then you're set. Jamie Garcia, offseason goes by quick. We better get our act together. Exactly. Our ducks in a row. And the Joneses always wait till last minute. Yeah, deadlines makes deals my ass. Okay, deadlines make you panic. And that's the one thing with Mark that I do agree with, is that you wait till the end. And then, I've never seen a team who thinks they're all that with the salary cap and gives out bad contract after bad contract after bad contract. Why? Because they wait until the deadline and then they're put in a corner. These agents you're walking circles around you, Catboy. They just are. But Jerry, you're too senile or don't have the authority to do anything anymore, and tell him to go sit in the corner and take notes. But we need a whole new back a 7. Good Lord. Yeah, Philly D. Listen, I give you guys a lot of credit. I'd rather have Howie. I'd rather have your draft picks, and you're going to have a nice amount of money. You should be able to do that, but you have to do it yet. I'm just saying, as we sit here today, that's where I sit. But sitting here today don't win you any games. You know what I mean? So, good afternoon, Spare None. How are you? Over a month until the draft. Will you be going? Yes, I will be there, Spare None. Are you going to go? It's going to be me, Mark, and Prime Time. And I believe that's who's going to be there. So we'll be there hanging out. Maybe Jay Tuck. I heard he may or may not go. But if he's there, we'll all be coming. I don't know how we're going to do this with whose stream. We'll probably all have our streams fired up, and going live at certain points. I'm just looking forward to it, Spare None. I'm just glad I got COVID now as opposed to a little bit closer to then. Get it out of the way, right? Yeah, Mr. Cowboy, his Jalen Hurts' contract really hasn't even hit. So the first couple of years are like Dak's was, but there'll be a point where they can move on from him, Mr. Cowboy, but it's going to cost them. But again, I have faith in Howie Roseman to do certain things like that. He has a vision. Listen, doesn't mean his vision is right. And that's what I was telling everybody before. I was telling Phil, I was telling Mark. I don't care if we miss in free agency. I can give you a break if we miss in free agency. What I can't give you a break on is not taking your shot. It's like it's like a fighter, and you're trying to beat the champ, right? And in order to beat the champ, you got to go after him. You can't usually win against a champ on points. You got to go after it. We need to take our shot. That's just how I look at it. We can't sit back and wait for somebody. They have this holier than thou mentality that people want to play for the Cowboys. No, they want to play for the highest bidder. Sometimes you got to be that. But then we don't do that. We don't necessarily pay these free agents high money, but yet we'll overpay Michael Gallups, or we'll overpay a Terrence Steele, or on and on and on and on. A Jalen Smith. Now, Terrence Steele actually can be a real good deal, but he has to get to that point. He has to get healthy again. But time and time again, Ezekiel Elliott, instead of signing him earlier, we ended up paying the piper. We're still paying for Zeke. Dak Prescott, we dragged it out to a point where it's our fault that he's making this much. If we would have signed him before last year, we would have probably locked him into $55 million, $58 million. Now it's not going to take any less than 60. Let's see here. Cowboys not making the playoffs with the schedule. I'm Josh. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't know that they're not going to make the playoffs, but I'm on record as saying they're not going to win the division. All the teams basically pay the same teams. But as we know, the team who wins the division usually doesn't repeat. So Stephen Jones just ruined my day. He said we don't have a culture problem. Is that what he said? Yeah, he's a dick. Sorry, excuse my language. Excuse my language. Only Cowboy fans want to keep on the draft as first round OL. Only Cowboy fans want to keep on drafting for. Josh, you need like an offensive line. I'm not, but I would love to have a center. We don't need a wide receiver, Mr. Cowboy. I hear what you're saying, but Michael Gallup is probably going to be gone. So I have Brandon Cooks, who's in his mid-30s on the last year of a deal, and CeeDee Lamb. And then we got two young guys who I like them both, Jalen Tolbert and Jalen Brooks, my guy. If a Keon Coleman is on the board, and we've addressed a lot of this, like Vinny Hagen saying, Coleman's a beast. I'm not saying I'm looking to draft, but this is what I'm saying. The draft, when you make mistakes is when you draft for need. Let's say that Guyton is gone and Powers Johnson is gone, and we're looking at a Morgan, the offensive tackle out of Arizona. Okay, now I'm not as high on Morgan as others. He's good, but I mean, or if you can get a Keon Coleman who could potentially be the best receiver in the draft. Okay. You have to go best available. You just do, especially in the first round. You can get cute down the line, and Dallas normally does get cute in the second round. There's no saying that they don't, because proof's in the pudding. Our second round draft picks, for the most part, stink. Not named a Trayvon Diggs. So short dog. Yeah, I like me some Keon Coleman. He's 6'4". He just jumps off the screen. But again, we have a lot to do before we get to that point. It would be a good decision to have. Either draft him or use him to get more draft picks, trade him to a team like the Chiefs, drop down to 32, get a 2 and a 5 or a 3 and a 4. It works out that way too, people. We drop from a 24 to 32. The value of that equates to a 3rd and a 4th, or a 2 and a 5. Give me the 3rd and the 4th. That way we'll have 2 3s and we'll get a 4 that we don't currently have. That's where the meat of this draft is. Pick the best player, Vinny. That's what it's all about. I don't want Rico. Yeah, Mr. Cow. Is that who said that? Let's see here. Let's go back. I just went way too fast here. Mr. Cowboy, I don't want Rico. Yeah, Rico would just be a piece. I could care less either way, Mr. Cowboy. I'm with you, though. Lady Libra, Jerry's new DC doesn't have any pull either. Can get Jerry to fill gaps we have. Yeah, I think he does, and he will have a say. Mike Zimmer's still trying to understand what he has on our team. I'm sure he's been in the lab watching film, just really making sure what he has, what he could work with. Hopefully to tell Mozzie to start eating again. Since Dan Quinn, basically from what I read, Dan Quinn was the reason why he lost all that weight. Thanks, Dan. Screw up our first round pick and then hit the road. Dick. Would like to see us get a more physical center to go along with a running back. Yeah, Chris May. I like Jackson Powers Johnson. But the mock that I might do a mock with you guys and let them just pick for Dallas, right? Just pick for Dallas and see what's there instead of me picking for everybody. So let me get through the chat, and then maybe I'll do that. I like Frankie Louvu. Me too. As a target run stopper, calls the defense, gets sacks. Pair him with Aziz Al-Ashir. I like what you're doing there, Dave. Dave Thompson. Exactly. Aziz Al-Shahir. I'm worried that the Eagles are going to get him. I'd rather them get Patrick Queen and us get Alshire here. Because Patrick Queen, here's the problem when you get with a guy like Patrick Queen. I know he's a good player, but when you're on a team that has all that talent, sometimes individual guys get elevated, kind of like the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm not trying to shit on Jalen Carter. I like Jalen Carter, but Jordan Davis is good. He's a good 2-down player, not great. when you have all those guys on the same team, especially in college, they get over-evaluated. But I like where you're going with that, Dave. JJ, which linebackers do you want for your team? I like, if I'm looking at linebacker, Edgerrin Cooper would be my number one guy. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I think he's too short for us. I like Peyton Wilson. He's had 10 surgeries in his career. He's been healthy the last 2 years. Junior Colson out of Michigan, I like. But I will tell you, it's not that deep linebacker in the draft. That's why you need to go out and get me at least one, probably two in free agency. You just do. If we don't build our line before the draft, throwing the Coleman from the back won't be good. Yeah, Vinny, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I want Coleman, but if the draft, it goes a certain way, I'm not going to reach for an offensive tackle in the first round if Coleman's sitting there. That's basically what I mean. We can get one in the second round if we need. All in according to Steven is signing Dak, CD, and Mike. Well, then that's not good enough, short dog. If that's what all in is to him, then we'll win anywhere 9, 10, 11 games next year. We'll slip into the playoffs and get our asses kicked. That's what that means. The longer you wait, the price goes up. Exactly, Vinny. Seems like we're always a day late and $1 short. Devil dog, that's our life right now. You got to hope that a guy like Mike Zimmer will help us get some free agents in here. I mean, listen, you got to know that he's going to want his guy from Minnesota, the edge, the linebacker. Help me out. My brain's not working right now. Danielle Hunter, and you would have to know that if Harrison Smith, I know he's 35, but if he hits the street, then you got to think that he would be on our team. Chris May, Eagles fans right now are in better shape. Eagles fans team right now, I don't know that they're better. They're going in the right direction. I wouldn't say they're in better shape. They got a quarterback problem right now. They have an issue, a big time with their defense. If you get a cornerback in the first round, that could help, but usually corners don't come in and light it up year one. It's what they're going to do in free agency. We have to see how this plays out. Jorge, what's up, brother? Jorge Alisea. I love the Cowboys, but why do they get all the hype while a team like the Pats, who are just running it for a while, were just under the radar? Because Jorge, because we're the Cowboys and everybody loves to hate us, more so than the people actually love us. We're America's team, and that pisses people off. We're the most richest team. We're the most spoiled team. We're the most soft team. Our owner is more worried about the bottom line than he is winning Super Bowls anymore. And it's tough to turn the switch back to, oh, shit, I understand that we're into marketing, but we actually got to do the hard things that help winning a Super Bowl. And that's not always taking the most sexy pick in the draft. Sometimes it's better just to take a Zach Martin, like they weren't willing to do. They weren't happy to take Zach. They wanted Ryan Shazier that year, and Steelers jumped us, like every team does, outmaneuvered us in the draft, took Ryan Shazier, who was having a hell of a career until he got that spinal injury. We ended up with a Zach Martin by accident, and oh, by the way, we got a Hall of Famer. So they try and get cute. It's when they don't get cute and just take the best guy is when we're good. Philly D, Dallas management handles free agents like the ugly stepchild. Yeah, it's crazy, man. They really make them feel wanted, don't they? I love the analogy you had about the chicken Cowboys. They come in on some scraps. Hope you feel better, Brian. Thanks, Jamie. Yeah, man. I don't know about you, but, I like to get me some of that breast meat, you know what I mean? And sometimes when I'm the guy cooking it, I'm cutting everything down and I'm busy doing so. I'll look back over the plate and 90% of the breast meat's wiped out. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. That's why I make 2 turkeys now, so I get me some breast meat. Mr. Cowboy, Tolbert can replace Gallup. I think he can. I like him. I'm just saying, Mr. Cowboy, you can't pass up talent. That's all. You know what I mean? Let's just address some of our free agents, get into the draft, and take the best player. You don't want to not take a guy rated here for a guy rated down here because of need. Just if he's the highest guy, you got to take him. You know, you never know. Injuries happen, you know, and then you got to, you know what I mean? Whatever position that is. Hello and good afternoon, JoJo. How are you? I'm feeling rotten, JoJo. I'm not feeling good. But we're almost done here. I'm going to do a quick mock draft before I get out of here in front of you guys. I'm going to I'm going to cough real quick. Excuse me. Man, let's see here. Just bear with me a second. Restart. Yeah, so let me get through the chat here. Let's see here. Brad Harris. Let me go back. I'm behind, I know. I try and get to everybody's. Let's see here. Most attended game in the entire NFL season was Cowboys versus Eagles. Yeah, man. Dallas always brings up the attendance. Let me go back because I know I missed it. Okay, cool. Hello and good afternoon. Got you, JoJo. We don't have a culture problem from a guy who didn't know who DeAndre Swift was when Lions wanted to help us out. Yeah, Mike Aldana, he don't realize. He obviously don't have any mirrors in his house because that's where the culture problem is. The cat boy is the culture problem, being a cheap ass. Yeah, I question their logic and what they do anymore. The proof's in the pudding. You haven't had any real playoff success. That's what it's about. But not to a team who's looking at the bottom line. And I'm not going to harp on this, but to a team who wants to have them jersey sales and those merchandise sales through the holidays. Winning 12 games is enough for this franchise, because then you sell all those jerseys and then your team chokes in the playoffs and then you burn them and then you repeat the process the following year, and then you sell all those jerseys because they sell hope and everything is great and we're number one and we won the draft and we won this, and then they sell all the jerseys and shit, and then you go into the playoffs, choke again, and then you burn them. I think they do it on purpose. It's all bullshit. I got you there. Khabib, what's up? No fighting, sir. Would you move Overshown to safety considering he was a Dan Quinn guard? No, Mr. Cowboy. He's a rover linebacker. He's very versatile, but he's got to come back from an ACL. I just want him to learn the linebacker position. He's the sideline guy. He's a tackling machine. That'll help. Remember when the Eagles got all free agents and did crap? Yeah, Vinny, I'm not saying go out and just get all free agents, but we need to fill spots. That way you're not, oh my God, we don't have a linebacker. We got to take one in the first round. Okay, well, in the first round, I don't want to take a linebacker. There's nobody there that's worthy of that 24th pick. EJB, what's up, buddy? The dream team, exactly. Remember that? Nnamdi Asomugha. He sucked. Kellen Moore doesn't fit with the Eagles, if you ask me. Mr. Cowboy, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Game time, Brian. Can you tell Mark to unban me? I'm sorry. I said you guys are going to sleep in the same bed when you guys going to. Oh, is that? Oh, that was you. That wasn't nice, Khabib. Come on, man. I don't sleep with any other dude. Sorry, man. I meant because of their cap and picks. Yeah. Dave Thompson, let me go back. I just lost you. We got 12 and 5 3 years in a row. We want the coach fired. The owner's gone. We're not spoiled. Well, Dave, isn't it about playoff wins though, man? Wasn't it like egregious, Dave, that we allowed linebacker after linebacker after linebacker to be picked up off our practice squad last year, and then we were left with nobody? So much so that we had Marquise Bell playing linebacker. He's like 205 pounds. I just mean, Dave, 12 and 5 is great, but if you remember back in the Troy Aikman days, I think our best record ever was 11-5. Right? We were 11-5 and we won a Super Bowl. So that's all. Let's go down here. But would you think you would have invested in some linebackers before the playoffs? So at that point, Chris, they did go out and get a couple, but it was too late. You're better off using Marquise Bell. What does your schedule look like? What does our Lady Libra? We'll get into that. It's out there. You could see our opponents, but yeah, we'll have time to worry about our schedule. Obviously we'll have the toughest schedule in the NFC East. It'll probably be around a 10-win season if I'm looking at it now. Jay Smooth, what's up, buddy? It's about playoff wins. Yeah. Listen, again, Dave, I'm not here to shout off the rooftops about Dak. I just want to not have to restart right now. So I think the best way to do that is to redo his deal. I don't think he's the problem. I just don't think he can carry the team. My opinion, Dave. What's up, mailman? Hope you have a blessed day. Thank you, David. Thank you for joining me. Hey, Game Time. Is Jimmy Johnson going to be a Dallas GM and be good for the team? No, Jay Smooth. He's going to be a consultant. So that's what he's going to be. So, all right, let's see here. I'm going to start this here. Let's see where I can put this at. All right, we are going to. All right, I'm going to pick the Cowboys and let's draft. Look at that. This is why I hate doing it like this. Brock Bowers went 1. Brock Bowers. I'm just going to wait till it gets to the Cowboys. Let's see how this works out. All right, let's all right, let's see here. Let's go back and see. Now, this is ridiculous here. This is why I don't do it like this. You got Brock Bowers goes 1. You got Caleb Williams. Okay. A Drake May. Okay. Marvin Harrison. Malik Neighbors, my favorite QB. Wide receiver. Yeah, offensive tackle makes sense. My best tackle, Joe Alt, makes sense. So far, Terrian Arnold, Dallas Turner, Rome Adunzi, love him. I love Rome. Jaden Daniels. Nah, if Jaden Daniels makes it to 11, that's impressive. There's no way J.J. McCarthy's going 12. No way at all. Newton, okay, I can see that. Fuaga, he's a beast. A beast out of Oregon State. I could see that. Jared Verse. There you go. Keon Coleman. Leatu Latu. Love him. J.C. Latham. Kool-Aid McKinstry. Jackson Powers Johnson. Tyler Guyton. Quinyon Mitchell. That's the QB I really like. So in this draft, the Eagles get themselves Quinyon Mitchell, Nate Wiggins. So, okay, Dallas is on the board. So we're looking at defense. Let's say defense. You got Chop Robinson, Cooper DeJean, Byron Murphy. So we're not going defense. We can go offense. We can go offensive tackle. Amarius Mims. You got Troy Fontenot, Jordan Morgan. I think the only two would be like the top two. Okay, I'm not really into that. Offensive guard, you got Graham Barton. That would be a very possible pick there. You got Graham Barton, offensive guard out of Duke. He can transition into center. Zach Frazier, that's Brian Broadus's guy, the center out of West Virginia. He's raw, but he has played center. Wide receiver, Brian Thomas Jr., Everybody's gone that I like. Lad McConkey, I really love. That's Phil McConkey's son, but he's not worthy of going now. No running backs. So where do we go here? So listen, if you're me, everybody, and this is what you're looking at, who do we go with? Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Spencer Rattler. Let me go back to all. So who we go with? And this, I want to hear from the chat. Who do we go with here? Do we go Cooper DeJean? Byron Murphy, defensive tackle? I don't think he's a very big guy. I don't think Byron Murphy's a big dude. 6'1", 308. So you go with Mims as a prospect. Murphy, that's what I was thinking. You got Mims, or you go with one of the centers. Mims, I think, might be a guard. He's a massive, and he's 6'7", 330. With a smooth cadence, particularly for his towering frame. The Georgia right tackle missed time in 2023. Put his play at such a high level when on the field that he commands first-round consideration. He possesses a powerful and accurate strike while jarring grip strength. So you would go defense. So you wouldn't go offensive tackle. See, that's where I'm. That's where I'm. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like where we sit, okay? We need offensive tackle. We need a center. As of right now, we would have to go with Brock Hoffman or TJ Bass. If that's fine, then we go Mims. We could go Mims here. I don't know how they feel about Barton. He's played guard at Duke, but he does transition and is willing to go to the center spot. If you just real quick, if you go defense, I'm not a Chop Robinson guy out of Penn State, so it would have to be the safety / DB Cooper DeJean. Do you see that happening? Hey, Alina, how are you? Byron Murphy. He's kind of an undersized guy, 6'1", 308. I don't believe that he's that one tech that we're looking for. It's Avondre Sweat. He won't be there for us in the second round. He's going to get drafted in the 30s most likely, but it's too early for him now. I think you got to go offensive line. And if you're asking me, it's either Mims or it's either Barton or Zach Frazier. Just keep an eye out for this guy, everybody. Just real quick. Just keep an eye out for this guy. 6'2", 310. Zach Frazier is one of the strongest interior linemen in the country. He may not excel in space as an athletic player who is skilled at making landmark moves on the second level of defenses, but he effectively handles players in front of him, whether in the running game or pass block. So he's good in close spaces. He's not like a Jackson Powers Johnson that's going to get to the linebacker and to take care of business, but he's very good. So honestly, I'm going to give it to you. It's either Mims. It's either going to be Mims, and you guys can make the pick. Amarius Mims, a Graham Barton. Let me look at Graham Barton. Graham Barton is 6'6", 315. Moved inside would help mitigate Barton's arm length. You know how Dallas didn't like Tyler Linderbaum last year? Like, you remember they had an issue with Tyler Linderbaum because of his short hands? Yeah, he only made it to the all-pro, like the all-rookie team. Fucking T-Rex arms. Yeah, who cares if he could work that shit? You know what I mean? So, and move inside would help mitigate Barton's arm length while also maximizing his most exciting traits, his explosiveness, physicality, power drive, torquing capacity, flexibility, leverage acquisition, and angle awareness. So I'm going to leave it to you. Mims, Graham Barton to make the move to center, or Zach Frazier. Make it. I will give you guys a few seconds and let me know who you want. Mims, Barton, Frazier. Tyron will turn Mims into a beast at left tackle. Dave Thompson. You know what I'm saying? This is tough. Barton may go before us. You know, that's the thing. Barton may go. Just remember, like you see this pick here with Tyler Guyton, Miami Dolphins. I think Powers Johnson goes to Seattle. I honestly do. And I think Miami takes Barton because Miami is the one that picked up our guy, Connor, out of Oklahoma that we drafted. One pick after Dallas Goedert when the Eagles jumped us. So they signed him. He did a good job with center, but they're not re-signing him. So Miami's I'll be surprised if they take a Tyler Guyton. So let's just assume that Barton is gone. Let's say Barton is gone because I think Barton may be gone. And we'll be looking at Tyler Guyton. But in this particular mock, we can't take Guyton. I think we go Mims here. I think you have to go Mims. Let's ride, baby. So we took Mims. Let's just see what the final. Let's see what the rest of the draft look like. So we got Mims, but let's see full results here. Here we go. All right, Lassiter went 32 at a Georgia. I don't buy that. I think they take a receiver. Darius Robinson, okay, Graham Barton, Brian Thomas, Chop Robinson. Now, we could have taken Troy Fontenot, but don't see it. A Cooper DeJean. So there it is. So a little impromptu mock draft. We'll do those from time to time. Mims is a big boy. At least you know you can rest your head on your pillow at night knowing that you went out and got yourself a beast of a player. So, and this is what I'm talking about. That's how things could possibly go for us. So we need to go out in free agency and address some much needed needs. So I think that's it, everybody. I'm starting to fade a bit. I think I'm fading. So, like Jamie says, I'm going with Mims. I like the SEC, Georgia. Yeah, I hear. Guess we'll see when the draft the day of the draft. Yeah, I may have to watch me some draft day, a little Kevin Costner draft day, since I'm doing nothing but laying around watching TV. So Mims can beat up those Georgia. Yeah, there you go, Dave Thompson. But that's kind of what we're looking at. We drafted 24. Just looking at it, I think Tyler Guyton may be there for us. I think that Barton may be gone, and then we'll have we would have Guyton and Mims to choose from. So that would be an interesting call. If that's the case, I think they go Guyton over Mims just because of his he could play left tackle. He's a Tyron Smith clone. But yes, everybody, Brian, time for you to go rest and get better. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. I am going to get out of here. Thank you. I just wanted to do something. I'm tired of laying around. So, but everybody, I know me and Mark are going to be doing something soon. But mess around with these mock drafts. I use what is it? Pro Football. Like this one's free. I forget what. A PFN, a Pro Football Network. I don't really agree with their ratings as much, but you get an idea. That's actually free. The other ones, they want to charge you, which is kind of BS. But all right, everybody. I will talk to everybody later. I hope everybody has a good day. Peace. Bye.